The old way of making a chatbot is through a process called intent mapping, which is essentially where a machine learning model has maybe like 250 or something pre-programmed responses.
A conversational AI assistant is able to infer more directly from a user's input. So they could ask questions comparing two products, like a debit card and a credit card, or they could ask for a recommendation around a particular type of credit card. And this is something that a traditional chatbot is not going to be able to understand the variance and the numerous variants that there could be. So in addition to things like SEC regulations and FINRA regulations, there's many risks that banks need to be aware of, both just generally with information they put on their website, whether it's powered by an AI assistant or not.
A major risk is what's called hallucination, which is where a large language model provides the user with information that is incorrect, out of context, or just not relevant or applicable. Another major risk is what's called jailbreaking, which is a form of abuse where a user puts in a type of prompt that convinces the large language model to perform outside of its parameters.
The approach that WillowTree took to navigate those risks was creating this dual model, large language model that had a supervisor functionality that was able to keep the AI assistant on task and also ensure that no information was being provided that would be construed as investment advice or any specific numbers around interest rates.
There were two architectural components that went into the system that were really interesting. One is this process called retrieval augmented generation. That's where you essentially hook a database up to a large language model and then bias the assistant towards using information that is stored in that database as opposed to world knowledge. And this makes it more likely that the information it provides will be accurate, it'll be in context, and it'll be relevant. We also developed this system called a supervisor, which is a second large language model that exists within the system. And it monitors all of the conversation that's happening between the user and the AI assistant in order to make sure that it's safe and appropriate, but also that it's within the rails. Our product owner was really hoping that this would prove that large language models were superior to that method in every way. And he told us verbatim that the team blew intent mappings out of the water.
On the back of a successful delivery with a major financial services institution in North America, we codified the generative AI Jumpstart offering to provide 8 weeks of development around a particular use case that a client brings to us across any industry.
The entire system is really modular, so you can swap out different models, you can swap out a moderation layer, you can swap out the rationale associated with the supervisor. All of these modular knobs and levers that a client could turn to make it fit that use case. And that modularity is what led to the Jumpstart offering.
Regardless of if you like it or not, generative AI is here and it's going to be disruptive.
And what WillowTree does really well is it places the human-centered digital experience first to make sure that the experience with that generative AI assistant is delightful but also safe.